Good morning, Year 8. I hope you're all well and having a lovely day. So, your title today is Barracuda Breakfast, so please could you write the date and title and complete the do now. If mermaids were real and they could live in a hotel, create a mind map detailing what you think it would be like. So please pause the video for about 5 minutes in order to do this. What I would like to do next is to read through the story. It's been attached as a Word document and a PDF on class charts. Whilst you are reading, underline any of the words that you don't know and find the definitions for them after you have finished reading by looking them up in a dictionary or using Google. So please pause the video while you do that. Okay, so next I would like you to find a quotation that tells us what the Jules Verne Lodge looks like, that the hotel is very private, that the food is awful, there is nothing to do in the hotel, and the writer didn't really enjoy the experience. So write first what you're looking for, so copy out what I've got on the slide, and after each line, find the relevant quotation and copy it out. So please pause the video while you do that. Okay, so I've got the answers on this slide. Please can you make sure you've got them correct? If you haven't, please can you write down the right answer. So first, what the Jules Verne Lodge looks like. The Jules Verne underwater suite is more of a submerged caravan than a hotel. The hotel is very private, but it is exclusive. Nobody bothers you. The food is awful, then leaves you to your microwave steak and lobster. There is nothing to do in the hotel. There isn't much to do underwater, but you can watch videos. You can hope that somebody rings you up. The writer didn't really enjoy the experience. Spent the whole night in the sea and enjoyed all the benefits of the experience. These are obvious. Next, I'd like you to consider how the Jules Verne Lodge is presented. So now that you've found a quotation for each of these points, you need to analyse how the Jules Verne Lodge is presented. So what does that suggest to the reader? Single word analysis and so on. You have 10 minutes to create a PL paragraph. Point, evidence, analysis link. You've done a lot of PL paragraphs over the year, so I'm confident that you'll do a really good one. If you finish, let's say after 5 minutes, I would definitely do 2 to extend yourself. And the quotations from the previous task may be useful if you get stuck. So the Jules Verne Lodge is presented as, that's your point. This can be seen in evidence. This shows through because analysis. This may make the reader think or feel, or emphasises that Jules Verne is presented like link. So that's your basic writing template. As I've mentioned before, you can mix it up a bit, provided you have all the components, but if you're a bit more nervous about PL paragraphs, then just do follow the structure that I've provided in that order. So please pause the video now for 10 minutes in order to do that. So what I've got here is an example of a PL paragraph. The Jules Verne Lodge is presented as a hotel that does not offer many activities and may be slightly boring because of that. So that's your point. This negative presentation is evident when the writer states, there isn't much to do underwater, but you can watch videos. How boring the hotel is only emphasised when the writer states, you can hope that somebody rings you up. So we've got 2 quotes that clearly evidence the point that's stated at the beginning of the paragraph. So now we're on to our analysis. The use of hope has connotations of desperation, and when used in this context, it suggests that the guests are desperate for entertainment, and it can be received from mundane tasks. And then you've got a link. Finding amusement from these mundane tasks further emphasises how the Jules Verne Hotel Lodge is presented as boring, as holidays are usually associated with unique experiences and a chance to escape daily routines. This amusement highlights how guests do not get to escape from their daily lives/routines. So consider, how does this pure paragraph compare with your own? Did you miss anything out? Or maybe yours is even better. So have a think about this pure paragraph and compare it with your own one. Okay, so staying in the Jules Verne Hotel would be a memorable experience. How far do you agree with this statement? You have 15 minutes to plan and create a comparative paragraph detailing your view. You have 5 minutes planning time and 10 minutes writing time. Remember to find evidence that can be used to agree and disagree with the statement. The quotations from the first task may be useful if you get stuck. And evaluate and analyse how that evidence agrees or disagrees with the statement. So remember to use connectives to compare viewpoints and show you have thought about both sides of the argument. For example, use of however, on the other hand, some might argue, and some example sentence starters. I mostly agree with the statement that the Jules Verne Hotel will be a memorable experience because, however, I partially disagree because. So please do make sure you have explored both sides, you have agreed and you have disagreed. So please pause the video for 15 minutes in order to do this. Okay, so here we have an example. So, I mostly agree with the statement that staying in the Jules Verne Hotel would be a memorable experience because it offers a once in a lifetime experience that very few people would be able to experience. This exclusive and rare opportunity is evident as the Jules Verne Lodge is described as the first and only underwater hotel. The ability to stay in the only underwater hotel available would provide a memorable experience, as no one else would have an experience to match it. This is only emphasized when the writer states that few Europeans would get the chance to observe marine life so closely, highlighting that your stay would be memorable due to the exclusivity of the opportunity and the wildlife you are exposed to. However, I would have to partially disagree with the statement, as the writer also describes the lodge as more of a submerged caravan than a hotel. This suggests that the hotel is advertising a better experience than what guests actually experience, which would make people want to forget about their negative stay rather than remember it. So once again, please take a moment to pause the video and compare what I've written here with what you've written. So as a basic requirement, there should be two sides to, you should consider agreeing and disagreeing with the statement, and then make sure you have your quotes, your analysis, and ideally some links as well. So pause the video and do that now. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. Thank you very much for your hard work, and please do send me any photos of your work so I can give you an achievement point. So thank you again and see you next time.